Hi, Dave Skosic. I'm here at Delaware Technical College in Dover, Terry campus. I'm with the president of the whole institution, Dr. Mark Brainard. Welcome.
Dave, thanks for having us. Really appreciate it.
It's a momentous year, 50th anniversary.
Great year, yes, it is. And we appreciate you having a few of us on to recognize the 50th anniversary of Delaware Tech and telling our story a little bit, including the history. So thank you for that.
You've got 4 locations. You're statewide.
Yes. And in fact, it kind of relates to our history. The college was founded by virtue of Governor Terry signing House Bill 529 back in June of 1966. So the following year, the Georgetown campus opened and started working our way north. And in 1968, the northern campus, which eventually became the Stanton and George campus, and obviously the Terry campus. So yes, we've evolved over the years into 4 locations.
We've spoken to Dr. Taransky, your campus
Yes.
director, and she talked about all the programs that are available.
Right.
And we're here, I think, that probably is very representative of what you do in a lab here devoted to HVAC, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Of course, we'll show video footage of the campus, beautiful campus.
Right, it is.
What are some of the most subscribed programs that you have? Not only here, but statewide.
Yeah, well, I think when Delawareans think of Delaware Tech, they think of programs that lead to a job. And that was our mission. And in fact, one of the early promotional marketing taglines was a job for every graduate. And when you think of our mission, and we were founded to meet the workforce needs of local business and industry, you look at our programs and they are created to lead to a job. And many folks think of our nursing and allied health programs, dental hygiene and things like that. But also you get into IT, energy management, just like this state-of-the-art lab here, but also engineering, criminal justice. The paramedic program is here at the Terry campus. There is a very robust aviation sector here in Delaware, so you've got that program housed at the Georgetown location. So I think when you ask Delawareans to talk about our programs, we have over 120 programs. But they lead to jobs, and they're all very demanding, high-tech, require state-of-the-art labs, just like this one.
High-paid?
Yes, they're high-quality jobs. And these, I think of the aviation industry because everyone's familiar with our auto mechanic program, but we have a very thriving aviation sector in Delaware, and it's a statewide employment base. And they're high-quality jobs, but they're also very demanding.
Well, what kind of jobs in aviation specifically?
Well, there's different components to the aviation. There's an airframe mechanic component to that, and it allows our graduates to work on the actual frame of the aircraft. And then you've got power plant that allows and trains our graduates to work on the proponent of the aircraft. So all the infrastructure inside of the aircraft can be maintained or replaced by these graduates who not only have to complete a very rigorous program, but they also sit and test for some of these aspects of the job that they have to perform. So like I said, aviation, allied health, and nursing, very demanding programs, nationally accredited business management programs. So it covers the market.
So there's so many businesses out there that say we need qualified people. We don't have qualified people. I know that's one of the challenges of the chambers of commerce. They talk about we could have more businesses come here, but we need people who are able to do the work. And I think primarily they're talking about hands-on kind of work.
Correct. And you know, Governor Markell says this a lot. There's never been a worse time to be in the economy with the wrong skills. There are a lot of jobs on one end of the equation that sit vacant, and then there are a lot of people on the other end of the equation who need to find employment. The flip side of that coin is there's never been a better time to be in this market with the right skills, and that's why there's so much emphasis and demand on some of the programs that we have, not only on the credit side, but the non-credit type of employment training that we do, the short-term welding and HVAC and different types of IT programs where a student can come in a matter of weeks, get a credential that can lead to employment. So we're finding ourselves talking, as we always do, with employers in Delaware about the specific skills and competencies they need, from potential employees, and then it's our job to respond.
So
with
if
the
you have
appropriate
somebody,
programs.
if you have someone who says, I want to make a career change, I'm concerned about the future of where I'm working right now, or I'm just not happy, is there someone that they can contact directly and discuss it, like a counselor?
Sure. And we have that a lot. In fact, at Stanton 2 years ago, we had a father and a son graduate from our nursing program. And they were making a career as carpenters. They had a great business going. And they made a decision together to retool their skills and go into a different line of work completely.
Sounds like a future story opportunity.
And yeah, it is. But that's not unusual, because sometimes folks arrive on campus because they decide to do that, or they're forced to through economic changes, beyond their control. If they're underemployed or unemployed, then they're forced to walk on campus or consider what the next step is for them. And if they come to our campus, they're directed into an advisement center, and they talk to a counselor or an advisor, and they can identify through a series of instruments, where their vocational preference lies.
And they can just make an appointment and come in with no obligation.
Yes, correct.
Also, I guess that applies if somebody wants to upgrade their skills at their present employment.
It's true. We have over 2,000 individuals throughout the state that serve on our advisory committees. Every single program we have, from nursing to engineering to criminal justice, energy management, we have professionals in the field that come in and work with our department chairs and faculty to tell us what knowledge our students have to have and what skills they need to be able to perform when they graduate. So these advisory committees really form the basis of the programs. Well, some of those programs have to be retooled to the point where, in IT, for example, employers don't necessarily need an entire 2-year degree. They might have a basis of employees in their company that needs an upgrade in skills. So we're pulling out components of a 2-year program and setting up a short-term academy.
Tailor making it for them.
Yes,
That's interesting. So employers can also do the same thing. Call somebody here at the institution and sit down, maybe Dr. Taransky.
Correct. Well, we have an entire, we've got the credit academic programs on one side of the house, and we've got the non-credit workforce training programs where we can sit down with employers, as we do here in Terry campus and the other 2 campus locations, and they interface with the business community. And if they need customized workforce training programs developed, we sit down and we listen, and then we go back and develop the customized program for them. We can either offer that training here on campus, or many times we go to the actual work site of the company and conduct workforce training programs on site. So we've got the credit programs. We've also, to your point, have the non-credit programs where we can do individualized and customized training for businesses.
And people can, the individual out there who's thinking about upgrading or changing, can find that information on your website.
Correct.
Okay.
And www.dtcc.edu is where you can go to get that information.
And it will certainly be on there. I know you're involved in economic development, obviously, of the community, which is very good, working with the business community, people who create the jobs. And tell me about the Community College Infrastructure Fund, because that directly affects you.
Yes, it does. As you know, and we just talked about our 50th anniversary, so we've got many buildings, over 1 million square feet of facilities here, and over 40 buildings that have aged over the years. And here at the Terry campus, the average weighted age of our facilities here is over 30 years old.
That's older than your students.
About
the average
that,
age, I think, yeah.
you and I would like to see 30s again, but when you get to a facility, that's
Absolutely.
old. And in fact, you look at some systems, when a building gets to be 40 years old, they're tearing it down or they're replacing it with a new facility. Here, we tend to reinvest, we tend to rehab and renovate, and the costs associated with that are just becoming overwhelming. So we need to find a reliable source of funding so that we can renovate and keep our facilities where they need to be.
Now, if there's somebody out there watching this and wants to help, is in a capacity to help, they can just contact, they can go online, they can find who they can talk to about
They
that.
need to call their elected officials in Dover and remind them that the college needs a permanent solution
Okay.
to fixing our buildings and facilities. And this legislation that we've had proposed and really talked about since 2006 really solves the problem by creating a community college infrastructure fund and funds it through a reliable and predictable revenue source so that we can do that.
Well, I want to thank you for being with me today.
Thank you. Thanks so
You made
much.
some great points about
Thanks.
a great, fantastic institution.
Thank you.
That's the tuition's affordable. You're certainly involved with the economic aspect of the whole community, the whole state. And
Great
again, I want to thank
faculty,
you. Congratulations
great
on your
faculty here in all the locations who really are the lifeblood of the institution.
I'm with Dr. Mark Brainard, President of Delaware Technical and Community College. We'll be right back.